As mayor calls meeting to order with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Martyr.
Here.
Riley.
Here.
Schneider.
Here.
Sofa.
Here.
Stoops.
Here.
Wilson. Here. Zupas. Here.
Non-agenda items, I did not receive anything. City administration, Don?
I have nothing.
Chief?
A couple things. I have, first thing I'll go over real quick, we got a new sign out in front of our building. I think if you've been by there, you've seen it. We had the old wood one, the paint was peeling off. We had a gentleman, Shannon, when I started last year, it was still dark, he volunteered to come in and restripe all the crossing guard stop signs that they hold up. They weren't reflective, so he did that for free. He just volunteered because he saw one of them when the high school couldn't see it. So then he came back to me this spring and said, how would you like me to do the sign? And I said, well, that's fine. We don't have a ton of money to do it. So what he did was we bought the materials. He is a sign maker. It's Bay Shore Sign. His name is Shannon Murray. He did it over a weekend, came in, put an aluminum backing, reflective. If you see it at night, it'll say police. Donated all of his time, very minor for utilities. He used some of his own paint he had, so really the cost was the high gauge aluminum, so it's not gonna bend or anything. So I wanna recognize him to the council. Also, we have a gentleman who is here. Go ahead and stand up. Mr. Mott lives on Church, and I was contacted, well, he actually talked to me about picnic tables before. He makes them for small children, the smaller picnic tables, and he got a hold of me and asked if we had any officers, because they're part-time here, that have small children that might want a picnic table. He said they do 3 different colors, gray, red, and blue. So I contacted all of our officers. 3 of them accepted it, so he made them, dropped them off at our place, and they picked them up. So he's told me, I believe this year, he's made 39 of them. He makes them for people that, why don't you tell them? Go ahead.
Well, Memphis has been good for me the last 17 years I lived here, and I'm 78 years old and I gotta keep going or they can put me up on the hill up there. So as my charity, I decided I'd make little kids picnic tables. Well, so far I'm up to number 59. I've got about 8 of them right on Benton Street alone, and probably 20 around Memphis and between Emmett and the out thing. It gives me something to do, and it's a pleasure to see these little kids. And from 3 different families, when I delivered one, the mother sat at the table, and the same comment come out of 3 different little girls. Mom, you can have a picnic with us now. And it makes you really feel good. So that's why, and I thought, well, I see the chief, I said maybe he's got a couple of officers that might have little kids that could enjoy something like that. Well, we got together, and Friday I delivered 3 of them over there, and he tells me he's distributing them out. So I appreciate his help and the community and what these officers do and what goes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And then, I don't know if Donna, if you want me to bring that up about the budget amendment or.
When we get to it.
Okay, and that's it, thank you.
Thanks, Chief. Adoption and amendment of the agenda. I think we're all set, right?
I'll make a motion to accept agenda as presented. Support.
Riley.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Sofa.
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Zupas. Yes. Martyr.
Yes.
Hopefully you've all had a chance to look over the minutes from September the 4th. Was there any questions or corrections? If not, I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of September 4th as presented.
Support. Schneider.
Yes.
Sofa.
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Zupas. Yes. Martyr.
Yes.
Riley.
Yes. Communications, none received. Unfinished business. We have none. New business. Administrative memo, budget amendments. There you go, chief.
I don't have all of them in front of me, but there, what we did was we addressed what we're doing with drunk drivers. Thank you. We have a cost recovery program for people in the arrested for drunk driving. We're able to take into account the number of hours the officers work, the mileage, because when we arrested drunk, for instance, our last one we had 2 ago, gentleman, the officer made the arrest at the end of the shift, so it cost our department 5 hours of overtime, time and a half, because the officer had to stay over. It was a felony, so he had to be arraigned the next day. What we do is we do the cost recovery, we give it to them. I go to their place or wherever it is, they end up paying finance the money back. So the money was just going in the general fund last year. What I asked Donna and what we looked at possibly doing was taking that money and putting it back into the budget as an amendment for instance, in this one is I think we ended up doing overtime on both of these, right? There were 2 different cases. One of them was full overtime, one of them was partial overtime. And that's the amount of money that's going back into the budget towards wages. That way, and we did the same thing at Fraser, most departments do it, that way you're not, when you tie up your officers, if somebody is, I don't want to say stupid, but if they know that they shouldn't be drunk driving, if they do that, they should pay for everything, and that's what they're doing. So that's what this is going towards.
It's restitution to the city for the officers today.
Yes, and it goes because if we make a lot of drunk drivers, we can bury my budget really, really fast. And I don't even want that to be anything that we worry about. I want our guys, like somebody hit boomers, that's one of these. We want to take those people off the road and not have to lose the city's money for doing it.
Definitely.
I know that some cities charge for all kinds of miscellaneous things.
Yes, they charge we charge, and the form was already made before I was here, so we've had the ordinance in Memphis. That they charge for everything. They charge for the attorney time, which we don't do. I charge for an administrative fee, which was already on there because the next day when I come in, I have to request the warrants, I have to take it to court, I have to, in that one case, we had to go and actually arraign the person.
So I know some places they'll charge for the breathalyzer tubes and recalibration.
So it's just something I think we weren't doing. We weren't, because of things happening over the years with different chiefs, I think it went by the wayside, but we actually had the form in our drawer. I just want to verify that the city council is okay with putting that back in. Last year we had 6 or 7 drunks, and because it's the last budget year, it just went into the general fund at the end of the year, which is fine, but this way at least if I can throw it back in our officers' pay, it just keeps it where I'm not adding extra officers right now. It's just to keep the same amount of hours for the officers.
Makes sense. Any questions?
Oh, it's good.
Absolutely.
I'll make a motion that we approve administration amendment number 3. This,
Support.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops, Wilson, Zukas, yes. Martyr,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we need a motion to adopt our fall burning dates of October 14th to November 24th, excluding Halloween.
I'll make a motion to set the fall dates for said dates.
Should you do Devil's Night also? Don't we usually do Devil's Night too?
I think it was just Halloween.
Just Halloween?
No, I think it's double with it.
I thought
We
it was
took it to
double.
both.
Okay.
In the ads, the last few years, it just was Halloween.
it just was Halloween.
Okay. All right.
We
Don't
still
you
want to
guys-
smoke it with all the trick-or-treaters out.
Burn it.
They just don't want people out there.
So we're gonna make it the 30th, 31st?
Just 30th, 31st.
Whatever you guys want.
Support.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson, Zukas,
Yes.
Martyr,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa.
Yes.
That was Devil's Night though?
I don't think so.
So excluding the 30th and 31st.
Okay, 30,
Okay.
okay. All right, good.
That goes in the water bills, right?
Yes.
Or is it-
Yes, the burn. I don't put
Yeah.
the Halloween, that goes in the paper unless it's.
Okay, so we have an official ballot for the Michigan Municipal League Liability and Property Pool, 2 directors, there's only 2, Robert Clark and Paul Zelenko, so I guess that's who we're gonna vote for. You guys okay with that? We need a motion for that? Go ahead.
Okay, I make a motion that we approve the Robert Clark and Paula Zelenko.
Oh, Paul,
I
yeah.
probably screwed that up, but from Michigan Municipal Liability.
Support.
Wilson,
Yes.
Stuckis,
Yes.
Martyr,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
Okay, I really, can't find anything. All set, Kurt?
Nothing for me.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, so we renewed a CD, I'm not sure who else got it. Comerica called us and our CD had ran out, and we switched it, we went from, we got quite higher.
I think it's went to 1.95.
1.95, yeah, I don't remember what it was before, it was quite a bit higher.
It's quite a bit.
1.45.
1.4. So we did renew the CD for 364 more days at 1.9, whatever it is, which I wish I could get that interest rate at my bank. So that's something that kind of came up. I know Donna called somebody. That's all I have. Kurt? Larry?
I just, 2 things. The memos I got there, I'm not going to go into them. If there's any questions, just give me a call if you need any explanation. They're self-explanatory. But you just call me.
Oh, you know, I'm sorry, there was one other thing before we go to you, Ken, about the lights. So I mentioned about doing the lights. So DTE let, in an email sent to us, let us know that after the first of the year, they're gonna have a program, because they're really pushing the high efficiency lighting. So there'll be no labor. So we'll just have to basically be buying the fixture and then they will install them for free. I don't know what the difference is gonna be in price, but there's no use in not waiting for 3 or 4 months or whatever it ends up being before we go ahead and start switching out the lights.
Yeah, the other thing is too, I think we have 57 that would go over it. Actually, if we pay the full price right now, the payoff would be 3.63 years. And, but if we can save the labor, that would come down. And it's certainly something we should, definitely should consider.
Just in money saved, huh?
Yes, yeah. So once it's paid off, then we have the savings. And I already had it figured out, I just don't have it in front of me, but it seems to me it was around $4,000 a year or something.
Something like that, yeah.
It was something like that, so I don't have the figures in front of me. I had it all figured out, but next year we'll look at it.
After the last meeting when guys from Legion were here, I went over and I talked to Ted, trying to get some cards for him, see if I can't help him spend some of that money they're trying to get rid of. He was going to get them to the fire chief because he lives real close. I don't know if he has it, I haven't had a chance to follow up. I figured give one to the fire chief, to the police chief, and probably the park, because they probably see people in the most dire conditions in the community, and they can see if they're a vet, give them a card, they call these guys and they can help you out. So
Sounds good.
I think that's in the process.
All right. Anything else? Robert?
No, I would like to thank Mr. Mott, though my family has received 2 tables from you. And they received 2 tables from you for their families. My family has. And I want to say thank you also. And that's it.
Scott?
Jason Hayden, motion to adjourn.
Thank you.